as you'll see, we got the Dalen Terry jersey rocking on set today because we're setting goals for young Dalen Terry's 23-24 Bulls campaign. Should I start, Bragg? Is that how we're doing this?
As the graphic indicates and as we communicated before the show, that's how we're going to do it. Then we're not going to change it.
I think that was you who communicated.
Me and Will conversation.
Okay.
Me and Matt.
Must go in this order part I was a little unclear on. Okay. I thought you just said you had. Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. I'll take the hit for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't flip the script like Mark K and Will did on Friday to me.
They flipped it on you?
They were messing. Well, I think I messed up, but I like to. I just like blaming other people. I take no response. I want all the credit and none of the blame.
That was all Mark's fault.
I want all the credit, none of the blame.
Guys, I mean, you can go in a million different directions as far as what you want to see from Dalen Terry in year 2 for the former 18th overall pick.
Okay.
Will?
Nope. All you. I don't get out of order.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Dalen Terry appeared in just 38 of 82 games for the Bulls last season, averaging just 5.6 minutes per game in which he appeared. To me, it's simple. As we were kind of talking at some previous time in the offseason about whether or not Dalen can see the floor with the additions the Bulls made, with the guys that they brought back, how's Dalen getting minutes? My goal for him is simple. Prove that one of the ways you can earn minutes is that you learned how to shoot. And my goal is not asking a lot. Give me at least 30% on your attempts from downtown. Yesterday, I asked Kobe to be a 40% three-point shooter because that is a reasonable ask of Kobe. This is me not asking the moon of Dalen Terry and wanting him to all of a sudden be a legitimate three-point threat. I'm saying improve substantially and non-trivially upon the 25.9% you shot as an NBA rookie from downtown. You need to prove that you fixed your broken shot or that it's at least on its way to being fixed if you want to see the floor at all. No disrespect or offense to the other things that Dalen can bring. He had a 2.5 steal rate last year.
He did.
In the minutes he was out on the floor. Awesome. Kudos to you. You got to knock down your threes, man. You got to figure it out.
That's what's going to get them on the floor, especially in this offense. Really, it's shooting. It's their biggest problem is shooting. So they need the attempts and they need the makes. They need both. We saw what he was doing in Summer League. It was Clang City for I believe the first, 3 games?
Clang with the trolley.
Oh, man. And then the Flash, too, especially that last game. He really got it together because I believe he's just on fire for no reason at all.
He knocked him down.
And I ended up with a total. I believe his total was 34% was his total
coming
out. So that's what he ended up with.
That's better than 26?
That is. It's much better than 26% for young Dalen Terry. Will?
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference between him playing and him sitting on the bench. It's the jump shot. And I think even more than just being somebody that can stand on the perimeter and shoot, it's how does this unlock every other skill that he has? One of the reasons why I really like Dalen coming into the draft, and I did really like Dalen coming into the draft, was because he can defend multiple positions. He's a good passer. He's a good athlete. He can get up and down in transition. He can make the right read. He can defend. There's a lot of stuff he can be really good at in this league. He rebounds. He defends hard. Those are all really valuable things. But when he's not respected as a shooter, he's not guarded.
Right.
And because his handle is not great, and because he's still really skinny and doesn't finish well at the rim, he's having to drive right into guys and finish through them. And it's really hard for him to do that when he doesn't have the size or touch to be able to do that. So in order to get some more space off the bounce, he needs to draw harder closeouts. In order to draw harder closeouts, he needs to knock down shots at a higher level and command respect from defenses. Once he does that, the dribbling won't be as much of a glaring weakness. The finishing won't be as much of a glaring weakness. The passing can be put on display. The up and down transition game. I mean, it will open up everything for him. And I think that's when we'll really start to see what kind of a player he is. But right now, and especially because of some of the other skills where he's limited, the fact that he cannot shoot is really completely making him unplayable. And it sucks to say because I do think there's a lot there. And you mentioned with the numbers, Matt, I mean, 29.5% during his NBA games last year. But during Summer League, he was 8 of 23, 35%. In the regular season of Windy City Bulls games, he played 3 games. he was 41.7% on 4 threes a game. In the Showcase Cup in the G League, in which he played 10 games, he was 39% on 2.8 threes per game. So it's not like he's incapable. I would say there is a pretty big departure between eye test and stats when it comes to Dalen's shot.
Yeah.
It frankly looks pretty broken to me, and I think there needs to be some wholesale changes for him to like really get to the point where he's a good shooter. But like even just watching him pregame warmups, like he'll make one and then he'll miss really wide right, and then he'll make one and then he'll hit it off the bat. Like it's just super inconsistent, and that to me says that he's just got a lot of work to do. He's a hard worker. He will put in the work. He will get better, but he has to get better in order to play because of how much that opens up everything for him.
See his workout video, Will?
I did, and he was. I only saw the mix.
Our guy Anthony in the comments saying, "I think just cracking the rotation consistently is the goal." Well, yeah. So how do we get there? Here's some more specific goals, but yes, I agree with you. Cracking the rotation would be good. Eco Bean, meanwhile, saying he wants to see Dalen be a better playmaker. Handles were the biggest weakness aside from shooting. Improve handles and shooting. Dave, what do you have with Dalen?
So mine is probably more broad than that.
BMF and Dalen Terry?
It's I want Dalen Terry to find his role.
Okay.
And that's what I want from him this season, to find your role. And what I mean by that is whether it's playing or not playing, I want you to find your role on this team. Because, look, there's a log jam at the guard position, all right? There is. There's a log jam, and there is a pecking order. Hey, see what I did there? Did I see what I did, Rex?
Yeah, it kind of scared me because it went in deeper into my ears.
Hey, man, don't let this voice is special. It's special there, Brax.
You got them pipes.
All right, got the pipes, sir. Yeah. That's what I do.
Look behind you, Brax.
Yeah. Dude, he really did look behind him. He really did. Me and Matt should be making some voiceover money. That's all I'm saying. But I want him to find his role, whether it's on the floor or whether it's on the bench. There is a space for him that he has to find. On the floor, Will just mentioned the space, and Matt just mentioned the space. It's shooting. You got to be able to shoot the basketball, because I love him as a playmaker. I love him as a rebounder. That's the other thing that wasn't mentioned. He's a really good rebounder, man. Dalen Terry is really a really good offensive rebounder. Like, he's really good at that stuff. So, because he's physical. That's how he plays, with that energy, with that charge. That's how he kind of plays. That makes him a pretty solid rebounder. He gets that ball, he's on the run. He's trying to set people up and get them the basketball. They allowed him to do that in the Windy City, because you just put the ball in his hands and you just let him go be a playmaker. You're probably the best player on the team.
Yep.
Just go do that, and it's cool. But here, the role is going to be different. Yes, they need him to shoot, but there might be moments and times where, I just need your energy right here for a good 3 minutes in this game. I just need you to be solid on this defense right here because this player is in foul trouble.
Right.
Like, can he match that? Can he find his role? I need you to be the energy on the bench. I need you to be that cheerleader. Last year, I said that's where his impact was going to be on the bench, literally, as far as just being him.
I thought about my goal for Dalen just being the greatest hype man teammate again.
Yes, and he was amazing at that. Like, it was fun to watch.
Don't ever stop dancing, Dalen.
It was fun to watch, though. Like, it was really cool to watch him do those things.
Yeah.
Does it now come with him stepping into maybe a leadership role among certain players on the team, whether it's among Julian Phillips and the young guys, showing them the ropes, the way Ayo was helping him out and showing him the ropes? Does it step into that way? Is he's become the more vocal guy? Because there aren't a lot of vocal guys on his team like that. Does he become more vocal in that sense? That could be his role too. There are plenty of roles and plenty of holes on his team that he can fill. Yeah. So just find that role that you can fill, bro, and go out there and fill that. And I guarantee you, whatever role it is, it's going to be a role for you on this team.
Plenty of roles and plenty of holes. I like that.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that new one.
Thank you.
William.
Same as you, Matt. Again, great minds.
For the record, we didn't know each other's answers. This isn't Will just copying my answers.
Will never
He's smarter than me.
Yes.
But we just happened to pick two things that we thought were important for these two players today.
And I think
did you go above 30?
Again, I went above what you said. I think I said 32 and a half.
Okay. I was thinking about 31, but I was like, you know what? Baby steps. Let's just get to 30.
And I think that's fair. But I looked through all the numbers of the different areas where he played. So he played in Summer League, he played in the NBA, he played in the Showcase Cup, and he played in the regular season for Windy City. And in those combined games, he shot 31 of 90 or 34.4% on threes. Again, I don't think that's representative of the quality of shooter he is, and I think Dave made a really fantastic point that a lot of those are probably pull-up threes in transition, or spacing out or moving off the ball, or just being a pick-and-roll player, because in the G League, he was the best player. In the Summer League, he was the best player, and he had the ball in his hands. That's not going to be the case in the NBA, and he needs to be able to get that three-point percentage up even higher, especially if he's just waiting in the corner, because otherwise the help's just in the paint.
Right.
And the driving is not going to happen, and it's just going to bog everything down. A lot of people got really upset with Billy last year because Dalen didn't get a chance to play, and I understand the frustration in not getting a chance to see your first-round pick on the floor, but there was a reason for it, and the reason was he was making the team worse because of the way that it bogged down the rest of the offense. There's going to be opportunity for him this year. I hope, like Kobe, like everybody else that we've talked about, young players-wise, that he is so good and he has added so much to his game that he makes it impossible for Billy to not play him. But I understand why he didn't get minutes last year. This is a perfect representation of the things that he needs to work on and address in order to unlock the rest of his skill set, which, again, I do think there's a lot there. So three-point shooting is going to be super important for him. I think it's going to allow him to put the rest of his skill set on display. And I'm excited to see what else is there, but we're just not going to get a chance to see it unless the three-point shot starts to fall.
It's true.
I agree with you.